I figured I would watch this for no particular reason.
マジで無理なんだけど。大きすぎ、でか
Just
す
get
ぎ、
scissors.
やばすぎ共和国。大きすぎ共和国、でかすぎ共和国、やばすぎ共和国。
No fear of cockroaches is actually a pretty impressive skill to have. Japan has this lady, we have Asmongold, who's attracted to some... You ever want to lay down all day while consuming as much entertainment as possible so you
Yeah,
can
I do that.
distract yourself from life? Like
Yeah.
some sort of weird human baby? Or a human turned into a worm. It's
Yeah.
way easier to do nothing
I do
compared
that.
to dealing with all your grown-up responsibilities.
I
No
know
one told
that.
me about taxes, bills every month, the tedious task of thinking of what to eat every single day for the rest of my life. Sheesh.
Chipotle. Problem solved. I just answered it.
The guy just be a baby again?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not a possibility for the majority of us until we can figure out how to Benjamin Button ourselves.
That's why you have to be a streamer.
Thing is bed rotting, eh? We're told that if we embrace hustle culture, work really hard, then we can achieve our dreams. The amount of effort you put into your career, the more well off you'll be during retirement age. Your future is created by what you do today, said the president of some country. So why me have...
Which, by the way, is true. Like, I know people like to meme on hustle culture and say that it's stupid. But yeah, working hard and working out and eating healthy and trying hard at your job will result at a positive outcome at a higher ratio than not doing those things. Yeah. True.
Graduate degree, but work as barista with no house or car.
Uh-huh.
Yo, this is Patrick.
Well, that's kind of the reality we live in now. The American dream has literally turned into something you can only see when you're dreaming. No matter how many hours you put into your career, how much you invest into your education, which ends up being a piece of paper and bank account jump scare, unless you're born wealthy or with a little bit of nepotism on your side, life's just one long slugfest of working until you're old and then... That's kind of soul crushing. So taking the...
I don't think that's entirely true. Like, I think that it's true for a lot of people, but for the people that I know that have that mentality in life, I think that if I look at what they've done in their life, it's a lot of nothing. Like, they really just didn't put in a lot of work and effort into things, or they aren't really, like they're not hard workers. And that's it. It's not true. There's a lot of people that grow up and they come from, you know, maybe not the Section 8 housing, but they come from humble beginnings and they work hard and they have good jobs and they're successful. It happens very commonly. It doesn't happen all the time. And it doesn't guarantee it. But it certainly happens a lot more than not doing it. But I can see where people come from, right? Because it's like, there's some people that see that and they're not getting the results that they want. Now, is it their fault or not? At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter from their perspective, because if they feel like they're not getting the results they want, then they start losing interest with reality.
Entire day off from time to time to rest and not think about 1,000 things at once helps us avoid burning out. The best feeling is working really hard, then taking 1 to 2 days off with your brain turned off to do nothing. Although bed rotting is a trendy activity we've been seeing that goes further than a day of self-care.
Well, I wish
you're in
I
your
could.
room, laying in bed all day, except you're not sleeping, but doing passive activities to avoid life, like scrolling on your phone, watching movies, counting the pores on the ceiling. Think of it as stress-inducing procrastination, where instead of relaxing at a spa, you're closing your eyes so you don't notice that the building is actually on fire. You can find a lot of content from Gen Z and millennials sharing their bed rotting experiences, either for clout and views since it's trendy to do so, or to connect with others who are going...
There's a trend. This is how it can look. Yeah, it's about right. I mean, she's still pretty young, probably, that's got this here, because, like, look at all these pencils and shit, right? So she's probably in school or some shit.
Through something similar. There's been a shift in the public sentiment from this being a quirky activity to this isn't good. It depends on the severity. A little bit of bed rotting can just be someone taking time off, but extreme levels can be linked with someone who's mentally unwell, especially when you see rooms that don't have floors anymore.
Who would do that? Who would possibly do it? Wow, this is so bad.
covered with so much junk, and the bowls and dishes with old food in them started making their own clothes to wear.
Bed rotting is a trend where you just kind of enjoy the time that you have in your bed.
You can see this person right here on TikTok who made a video about their trend. They
Who would
have
do
cups
this?
laying around their room
That's
just
disgusting.
filled with mold because they're just bed rotting. All of these cups, Chick-fil-A containers, all of this stuff has just been piling up because all they do is lay in their bed all day.
I know we shouldn't eat mold, but why it look like I kind of want to eat it? We shouldn't be glamorizing
They're not
this
that good,
behavior,
trust me.
but focus on curbing it instead by sharing tips or showing our progress when we finally decide to clean our rooms.
Here's what you're gonna do if you've already rotted half the day away and you kind of regret it.
So that was a little taste of bed rotting in the West. Now in Asia,
See, for me, like I have a lot of days where I do that. I do, and like I will have days where it's like a vacation. I take a vacation from life. Like I don't call anybody. I don't answer anybody's calls. I can't do this as much anymore. And I think that it's had a negative effect on my psyche too. Like back before I had as many responsibilities as I do now, I actually had a lot of cases where I would be able to spend like a week or a few days away from other people, and I would come back a better person because I just can't be around people that much. It makes me insane. It makes me psychotic. Yeah, it must be nice. Yeah, and now it's way, way, way worse. And so for me, like, yeah, I think that like some of this is healthy, but it's like it's one of these things where it's always like self-indulgence is the problem, right? Where it's like you're doing it all the time. That's the issue.
this isn't just a concerning phase anymore. A few cups with moldy drink in them is nothing compared to
Not a big deal.
DIY hill you made in your own home out of trash. I like sledding on a fluffy white hill as much as the next person, but this seems like a biohazard. There are two content creators from Japan that kept popping up on my timeline who have quite the interesting following. The first one is Haritsu, an Indonesian college dropout living in Japan, who's known for cooking food that is well beyond its expiration date, eating it, and somehow surviving. And we're not talking about a yogurt that's a few days past its best before date. I saw this man take...
Yeah, I've never really done this before. I'm very much the kind of guy that if something is out of date by one day, I will not eat it. Like, this is the one thing that I actually am very, very specific about.
Resident Evil looking rice from underneath the sink, give it a bath, then make it into a somewhat decent looking dish.
Yeah.
You would have never known how old and how unrefrigerated his ingredients were. This is a health inspector's nightmare. If they went inside his house, they would cry, fail him, and then shut down the kitchen. This isn't even a restaurant. At least he's not wasteful. The second creator is Shiro.
Yeah, that's not really so bad. I mean, like I've seen people that eat nasty stuff like that before. It's like it's whatever. Cuz like you're going to heat up a lot of that and it's going to burn off the mold, etc. And so, yeah, it's not that bad. You made this trend, man. It's your fault. I do think that, like, I mean, this girl's 1999, right? So that means that she's, what, like 24 or something like that? So, yeah, I mean, I was doing that 25, yeah, either way. Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely some of these people could have grown up seeing me and Asmongold's lair and been like, wow, you were one of the first people to do this? Yeah, like I released Asmongold's lair when this girl was 11. Oh my god. That's fucked up. I could have done this.
Kumatian Daisuke 1999, who is infamous for living in a home covered in trash while sharing this small space with a lot of roommates. Sure, times are tough and we gotta do what we gotta do, but it's like more than a reasonable amount of people. Between all of them, there's at least 1,000 legs, 1,000 arms, bugs. Her roommates are bugs.
マジで無理なんだけど。 大きすぎ、でか
Just
す
get
ぎ、
scissors.
やばすぎ共和国。大きすぎ共和国、でかすぎ共和国、やばすぎ共和国。
Damn, if all these uninvited guests
No, not right now.
showed up in my home, I would have to put on a full production of Stomp, or at least a K-pop fan cam from Inkigayo.
Yeah.
No fear of cockroaches is actually a pretty impressive skill to have. Japan has this lady, we have Asmongold, who's attracted to some.
Oh boy, oh boy. Here we go.
My videos.
I
kind
have.
of feel like that roach that was in his house.
Get him out of me. What are you doing, bro? Get out of my...
But wow, those
Yeah.
moldy cups are basically a cute little garnish compared to living with 5,000 freeloading roommates that don't pay rent. At least they don't take up
I
a
had
lot
a spider that was in my kit. It was in my my bathtub, and yeah, he's just there. I think that there's actually 2 of them. They were really big too. I took a picture of them. It's like it's hard to really kind of show because like a bathtub, it's like how big is a bathtub to like contextualize it. But it was about the size of. Here, this is perfect. It was this. About the size of this. Yeah. Like legs included, right? Legs included, like spread out, you know, ready to go. You kill them? Yeah, I just smashed them. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's just a spider. Like, what the fuck's he gonna do? Spiders are helpful? Yeah, that's what I thought. But then there was a wasp like 3 days ago. I had to cut him in half. Like, yeah, like, well, where the fuck was he? Like, we had a good thing going here, you know? And then you fucked this up? Now there's a wasp? Bro, you had your chance. You had to cut them in half? Yeah, no, well, what I do with the spiders is that I try to kill them, but if the spider gets away one time, I let the spider live. Because I feel like he's passed, you know?
a room because they sleep on the walls. That being said, I'm not 100% sure if this content is made by people who are actually going through something, or if it's manufactured for engagement and views. We'll look into how all these topics tie in with each other. Why is this letting your living space turn into a landfill phenomenon so much more severe in Asia? Well, let's talk about their work culture and how intense it can be compared to our silly little corporate errands and elite employee bosses. In China, the belief is that the harder you work, the more will pay off. You put in 40 years of working really hard, and the fruits of your labor should show that, which was true many decades ago when the economy was thriving. There wasn't as much competition in the market. You could buy home, car, purse, family, working the same job for your entire life. Now, you'd be lucky to even afford one of these things. The 996 culture became a normal way of living, where you work from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. Putting in your 40 hours a week is child's play compared to this. You're expected to live this way if you want to be successful. If you don't want to conform though, that's totally fine. Someone else that's younger and less tired will take your place in a heartbeat. The Asian workforce is so competitive. Companies
outraged netizens say jail is better than work. Yep, there it is. I mean, for me, like, no, what about mosquitoes? Oh, I swear to God, I know people might not believe this, but I've seen mosquitoes bite me and die. Like, just straight up, like, I've seen them just, like, bite me. They've flown around. After, like, 10 minutes, the mosquito dies. And so, see another doctor? Yeah. And, I don't know. I don't know what it is.
and encourage their employees to reveal their punch-in hours like a badge of honor. Whoever is the most overworked gets the praise. If you're working the minimum amount of hours required while having a healthy work-life balance, boo! Well, putting in overtime
sounds like a loser to me.
Doing? This expectation that you need to dedicate your entire life to work for a mediocre life is causing younger generations to realize, bruh, this sucks. It's
well, this is always the way it was. Like, peasants would have this happen back in the 1500s, except for instead of retiring, the lord would conscript them to go to war against the other lord that they had like a disagreement like 5 years ago. And so then they just kill each other, and that's about it. Like, it's actually always been like this. It has been, yeah. And like, that's fucked, yeah. And like, then, or maybe they just decide to kill you because, you know, why not? Yeah, feudal times are the best. Well, yeah, you need a war? No. I mean, you could figure out other reasons to kill people. You didn't just need a war. But yeah.
Watching the starry-eyed graduate who's excited to join the workforce turn into the bitter, jaded employee who's ready to retire in the span of 5 years instead of 50 years. You know what you get after working 50 years for a company nowadays? An email.
50 years. 7-Eleven.
In 2022, a term called bailan started trending in Chinese online gaming communities, which translates to laying flat and lowering one's goals. Basically saying, no thanks, I think I'll pass on this crazy work lifestyle. There's a lot of talented, hardworking people out there who want to make their career the main focus of their lives. But not everyone has to live like that, right? What's the point in working so hard if we're going to stress ourselves out until we develop health issues? We're still going to be scraping the bottom of the barrel while the rich get even richer.
This is, I think, the reason why people are upset about it. It's because, like, I work pretty often too, right? I don't really take days off of streaming. Like, for example, like, after I do my stream today, like, I have to, like, go grocery shopping, and at the same time I'm grocery shopping, I also have to be part of a meeting. And after that meeting, I have to do another meeting after that with somebody else for something separate. And then after that, I'll probably call my dad and check in with him and see if he's good. And this is something that I do every single day. But the difference is that I feel like one of the big differences for me is that, number one, I'm doing a lot of it on my own time. And like, for example, like I don't have to drive somewhere. I can do what I want to do, you know, like for the most part, like whenever I want to do it. And also I'm making a lot of money from it too. And so there's like a freedom that it provides me. Now that freedom isn't really as important anymore because I've already kind of like hit that threshold. But, you know, for me, I think it's about people. A big thing I think is it's about that the time worked is a big factor. But I think what is an equal factor for a lot of people is the fact that they don't really feel like they're getting any value out of the time that they're working. Like they're putting in, I think that's how burnout happens. Burnout doesn't happen from working a lot. Burnout happens from working a lot and getting a little.
So doing just enough to get by might be a better option for some, and there's less risk of getting burnt out. Basically, keep your expectations low for everything you do in life. Japan also has a similar working culture. It's based on intense commitment, ethics, and extreme dedication to the company you're working for. If you're just starting out in the workforce, they have a strict hierarchy system you need to follow. If the boss says, put on a furry suit and start serving your country, then you better start learning that K-pop choreo ASAP.
Good
also,
for you.
I think I'm going through a phase right now. There have been one too many furry references in my videos recently. You also need to show that you're a team player.
No, it's not his fault. Like, there's too many furries in general. Furries are getting too popular. People getting too cavalier with this furry shit. I'll tell you that.
By drinking with your coworkers every night. How does that show you're a team player? Well, it's all about tradition and conformity. If you're the only one
some people is like, oh, banned people saying work to discredit your work as a streamer. It's not relevant to me whether somebody says that what I'm saying is what I do is work or not. It's not important to me. Like, I don't need anybody else's validation for like whether my job is hard or easy or whether what I'm doing is actual work or work. If my idea of a job was breaking into people's cars and stealing all of their stuff out of their car and then selling it, and I made as much money and I could get away, I'd just do that. Like, I don't have any ego about this. Like, I don't care. I just am doing whatever I can to make money. Like, I don't care about like, oh, the value of the work and like what this is doing for the world. Like, I don't give a fuck about why. I don't care about that. Never cared about that. So like about like it being a job and like, oh, well, it's like, this is the, you know, you have to justify it. It's like, oh, well, I'm really working. Like, I don't care about that at all. Yeah, that's never. Like, I've just never understood it. Sociopathic? Well, it's not really being a sociopath. It's like just that, like, if there would be an easier way to do something that I would want to do, then I would do it. I mean, it's really it. I mean, there's not like a lot of, there's not really a lot of like, there's not a lot of thinking beyond that, right? Yeah, that's it. The point's to make money. Yeah, like, I just want the money. Like, whatever gets the money, I just do that.
Goes home. Boo! Yeah. And forget about sleep. You might be able to sneak in a quick nap on the subway ride home before you need to show up for your shift, but hey, that's the culture. Did I also mention Japan has the highest levels of working hours in the world, where employees can average 80 hours of unpaid overtime per month? The anime Zom 100 does a really great job at showcasing this lifestyle in their first episode. All this pressure from work, school, and family to fit into your expected societal role, you can see why this bleak overview of the future is causing younger generations to be discouraged.
Yeah, say fuck that. Why would I want to do that?
Which has given rise to people adopting a neat lifestyle. Not as in a clean person, but as a not in education, employment, or training person.
I did this for as long as I could. This was great. I was so happy being a neat. Like, I was so happy. It was great. It was so good, bro. Like, why are people defensive about that too? Well, I mean, look, it's everybody. A lot of people are defensive about the idea of, like, they're defensive about the idea of, like, what they're doing mattering. And I understand why. I get why. It's just not something that I feel. Like, I just don't feel that way.
Long-term goals here, just surviving through each day by doing the bare minimum. As long as you have food, housing, and entertainment, then you're solid. A more intense form of the neat lifestyle is a hikikomori, which is a Japanese word that translates to pulling inward, being confined. This is where you withdraw yourself from society, where you
inward like inside yourself, not inward like Twitter. Yeah. I
basically never leave your home. Described as loners or modern-day hermits. Yeah, it usually consists of people in their 20s.
This is basically me. Yeah, pretty much.
To late 30s who are still living with their parents and rely on their support.
In Japan, there's said to be at least 500,000 hikikomori. It's thought that the numbers could be double that because so many of them go uncounted. Most are men 15 to 39.
It's mostly guys. This guy right here, his favorite game is definitely Honkai Star Rail or Fate Grand Order. Absolutely. Yeah, this is the Nikkei. Yeah, there you go.
Experts believe that it's a condition caused by traumatic experiences or shame or grief.
Could the pressures of Asian...
No, it's not even that. It's that people grow up being losers. They're not accepted by people in school. They're ugly. They don't really feel like they're part of culture. They don't fit in. And then people don't like them, and then they disconnect from society slowly, and then before you know it, that's where they're at. That's traumatic experience. Well, you could say it's traumatic, but like what I'm saying is that it's not like you had one bad experience and then everything changed. I think that like you're right, but it's like basically death of 1,000 cuts. Like that's kind of the way that I'm seeing it, right? It's not like there's like one situation where it happens. It's something that happens over like a long-term like percentage of time.
Societies be the root cause of these content creators posting their strange lifestyles online? Maybe. That's just a theory. A moldy rice cooker theory. Speaking of food, that would definitely shave off years of a regular person's life.
I think that one of the reasons why a lot of people do it, like for me, one of the reasons why I didn't really have a problem sharing my lifestyle whenever I was a lot younger and I first started doing this, like I don't know anybody that was really doing it before I was doing it. Maybe I'm sure there were. It just wasn't as like known. Is the reason why is that I really didn't like how much like shame was in the culture that we had, and I just didn't like how I would always get shamed a lot for doing or saying or thinking different things, and I always really just like never really understood being ashamed of something. And I know this might sound really bad, but I've never felt any shame for anything bad that I think that I've ever done in a genuine way. Even if it's something bad that I did to somebody, I just don't even think about it, right? And so I think really like expressing yourself and being able to own who you are is something that's like the only thing that you can do at a certain point. Because if you feel like you've been isolated and alienated away from culture as much as you can, as much as possible, then eventually you just decide to yourself, I'm no longer going to keep playing this game, right? I don't want to keep trying to be this person. I don't want to keep trying to appeal to people that aren't going to like me. And I'm just going to be myself. And it's kind of a bad version of myself, but it's still who I am, right? And yeah, you can't lose if you don't play. No empathy? Do I have empathy for people? I think so. Like, a lot of the way that I feel about things and the way that people think, like, I don't know. I think this is like revealing a bit too much of like my like internal power level, right? It's probably something I shouldn't really say a lot of. But like whenever I was like a little kid, I would have my mom read to me like all of the like the Bible, like the rules in the Bible, because I just didn't really understand why people didn't like certain things or why certain things were bad. And I knew that like I needed to learn this in a way that made sense, because I had like situations in like, yeah, I had to learn the terms of service because it wasn't in it. And this is why I don't make a lot of comments on moral issues, right? It's because like I have a moral compass. It just doesn't point north. And so when I think of something's morality, I don't think about it the way that other, I think, normal people think about it. And so I learned that about myself pretty early on, and that's why I would want her to like explain everything to me, because I could see like in school I would have it happen. And so like I really only understand a lot of like, you know, sympathy and like emotions or like morals or like empathy with people. I understand it through like through a lens, right? It's not like intuitive to me in a way, but I'm very good at faking it. I'm very good at faking it, and I'm very good at like intellectualizing it to the point to where I can intuit it in most of the time. Most of the time I can intuit it, but when things become very morally based, that's when I usually don't like making comments on them, because I feel like I almost always make a mistake. I always say something that's like wrong. I don't know, like that's kind of that's the way that I would explain it in the best way.
Either this guy has the strongest immune system in the world, or the soap he uses to wash his food can eliminate every single disease on the planet. He's known for taking rice that's half food, half a living organism, and turning it back to normal by giving it a bath.
Ah, ふわふわ。なんかいつもと違うパターンだなこれ。何これ。普通にこのまま食えそう。わあ、綺麗綺麗ですね。
Yeah. Was he put soap in there? Is that soap?
なんかこれでもうまそう。
Yeah.
はい、完成。うまそう。
Other than committing multiple health code violations, he's a pretty decent cook. It's no Michelin star meal, but watching him turn expired food into a...
No, I've watched plenty of crackheads that live in like in trailers do this exact same stuff here in the US. It's nothing really special. Yeah, I see that. I've seen plenty of crackheads do that.
Edible-ish.
Yeah. That's not so good.
I was curious after watching so many of his TikToks. Can you actually wash away mold from your food, eat it, and not get sick?
Yeah,
Sources
probably.
say
Yeah, you
it
can.
depends, but usually, no.
Yeah. What?
What's even
So it's like, yeah, they recommend not doing it, but you can just cut off a bigger amount of it, and it's okay. Yeah.
What's even more interesting is that
what they're saying is like the mold has expanded beyond what's visibly like what's visible, but if you cut off more of it, it'll be okay. Yeah, it's fine. Because I mean, like my mom would do that all the time. I thought it was disgusting, but she would do it, and she never gets sick.
he's never gotten sick from doing this.
Yeah.
Do you ever get sick? I never get sick. Even I find it hard to believe that I've never even had diarrhea because of the food I eat. Especially during my first year on TikTok. I was not that popular, so all I could afford to eat was the rotten food. But yeah,
Right.
I think I am freakishly healthier than normal people. Or maybe I'm just used to it by now. Damn.
I think a lot of people just get used to it. Their body is adapted to it, and they don't have that type of have that type of issue, right? It's like that one guy who would smoke cigarettes and eat dead porcupines for like and like never shower, and he lived to like 84 or like 94 or something like that, and then they had him take a shower and he died. So yeah, no, you not yet, and or Shield, yeah, no, it's just the human body evolves to adapt to these things. That's just what's normal.
I should have eaten more dirt when I was a kid. He microdosed himself on so much bacteria that he's turned into a walking cold effects pill. Look at him, not believing in storage containers, utensils, and proper cooking services.
これをお渡しましょう。
I don't even know what that is.
完璧。
Yeah.
よし。これ一旦どかしましょう。
Oop. Just a little seasoning from the bed for some flavor. I know the microwave has a built-in plate, but you got a regular plate right there. I'm also showing the least scary parts of his TikToks.
Yeah.
Some of the food he scrunches up looks like it came from a nightmare.
Sure.
Okay, if you don't think about what these ingredients look like before, he made a slightly upgraded Lunchable pizza.
That's pretty good.
はい。完成。
Yeah, I'd eat that. That's fine.
いただきます。
After
Yeah.
doing this for some time, he's built up a
It's not
cult
a big deal.
following that's let him move into a bigger and cleaner living space. This is a
Good for
literal
him.
rags and mold to riches story. How do you feel about your content now? I started TikTok at the rock bottom of my life. That
Yep.
time, I felt like I couldn't do anything right. Like my life was just going to be a waste. But I'm glad I started my TikTok in Japan. People are warm there and they supported my content from the very beginning.
for him.
Now I have more friends and I am happy in my life. Do you wish to continue making these videos? Yeah, because this is my brand now. And I like doing it, not just for the content, but because I genuinely like it. Even now when I can afford nice food, I still wish to continue eating rotten food.
Yeah.
Anyways, a comb as a spoon
Well, if he likes doing it, good for him. Yeah, how about that? Good for him.
is wild. We have
Yeah.
a strange fascination with observing people at their worst and then rooting for them to get better. The other content creator who I mentioned, who is also in a similar living situation as Haritsu, also has a comb. Here's her reviewing which type of flower is the best type of dry shampoo for unwashed hair.
Let's 検証この子たちで Let's 検証タイム米粉なんかねお米って万能なイメージがあるんで
It's a mistake to use dry shampoo. Your body's not meant to supposed to have is not meant to supposed to have dry shampoo on it. And so what you need to do is what do you call it? You just stop doing everything with your hair. And your body will naturally make that stuff go away. Like I stopped showering completely for 3.5 months, and it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. It was. It was really was probably one of the best decisions I've ever made at all. and it improved my hair problems massively, and it causes baldness. No, it didn't. I was already going bald before then. And yeah, and no, I don't smell bad. I mean, I don't. Like, I don't know, like, if somebody's, like, people are talking shit. I do not smell bad. Like, the smelling like dust or whatever, I don't smell like dust. There might be something I'm wearing that smells like dust, but I don't. I tell you that, I definitely don't. No fucking shot. How's your sense of smell? I can only smell dead animals. That's the only, and I some types of poison. Yeah, that's about it. So yeah, you should never use dry shampoo on your hair because your body is meant to be it's like a self-correcting machine. It's like you don't want to put water on your PC to cool it down. Just let the fan do its job.
米粉なんかねお米って万能なイメージがある。
Yeah.
串につけた。
Yeah. That doesn't matter. None of this matters. This is all stupid. Yeah, this is stupid.
Huh?
It won't change anything. It won't matter.
すごいお米の力。
I will say she's definitely.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys this, right? Asmongold, steak, and eggs. I'm trying to see if I can find the point where I wasn't showering at all. I think it was about here. I could be wrong. Let me see if there's a zoom in of me. Look at that. Literally no problems. Nothing at all. It totally went away. Yep, I didn't have any problems, anything like that. It's clean? Yep. Totally fucking clean. Your hair went away too? It was already gone. Directing an aura? Yeah, I was recalibrating. That's what it was.
A better cook compared to the previous jump scares we saw. Plus, the ingredients she uses are not moldy or scary looking. Thank God, the bare minimum. This pasta looks pretty appetizing. I would eat it if it was served to me. Although,
I would not.
Can I take my food to go? There are one too many cooks in this kitchen, and they keep coming towards my food. It's making me nervous.
I've eaten bugs in my food before. It doesn't really matter. People act like it's a big deal. People eat bugs normally. Like, they eat bugs in India all the time. It's not like if you eat a bug, you're gonna die.
だから今日のね夜ご飯第216円だよ。やっぱねパスタミートソースが一番好きどす。
Yeah.
んでこれスーパーの箸だから無用だし。いきます。That
was gross. I wouldn't eat that.
Sorry, I couldn't concentrate on my food because I had to keep an eye out for bugs wandering into the pot, which surprisingly didn't even notice the fresh food being cooked right in front of them. They went in every direction that wasn't the food. Someone said a collab with Haritsu would bring back the bubonic plague, or would it actually create super evolved white blood cells? Her videos are a weird combination of calming and anxiety inducing. It's like if you took a cooking ASMR video and green screened it into a unlivable home.
Yeah, this is the video that people were posting a lot on Twitter. Every time there's like a insane person like this, I always get tagged a lot in these types of videos. Unless you don't even see that part of food the ingredients have. Yeah, no, it's not that big of a deal. Even the FDA allows a certain amount of bugs in products. Yeah, like get a 20-pound bag of sugar. You're probably gonna find a bug in that bag.
200円ちょいって高い方だよね。まあでもたまには2日連続。昨日とで2日連続か。で最後に使うなこれ。もうこれでね何作るかわかるよね。だからねちょっとねフロア10万に行った達成した記念にカレー食べたいななんて だから野菜が玉ねぎと人参、お肉鶏肉、食後。
See, this is the real thing that like really is confusing to me about this is that like I've had a lot of bugs and rats in my room, and this is why I don't understand like her situation. Is because like whenever I have bugs and rats, they eat my clothes because there's like not a lot of other like food. Maybe she leaves enough food out to where like that doesn't happen. But like they'll eat my clothes and I'll have like holes in my clothes and stuff like that from like rats and bugs eating them out. And like that's why like cuz like she's not like, does she have that problem or not? I don't know. Those are just American bugs? You think the American bugs are fatter so they eat more food? That's like your own sweat? Yeah, exactly. Like, and it's not even just sweat. It's like well, they'll eat the dead skin off of the, what do you call it? Off of the clothes, and then they'll eat the clothes in the process, right? Because they'd be, yeah. You produce oil, yeah. That's what I don't understand.
I'm assuming she's used to living like this. There's not a hint of fear in her voice. And does this pod also have bug-repelling force field properties built into it? What the heck kind of advanced products are Japanese people making? She's also gained a cult following herself. With
There's a lot of people that watch her. Yeah, look at this. Well, good for her. I should watch this myself.
The audience reaction, based on the comments, is usually confused, scared, worried, and fascinated, since her demeanor doesn't really match her lifestyle. I think the brand she's going for is a subculture in Japan called Jirai-kei, or landmine style, an aesthetic that combines cute feminine gothic fashion with someone who is on the verge of an emotional breakdown. Some people...
That's called a female streamer. That's crazy.
Wear the fashion, while others embrace the entire lifestyle. She even did her own cosplay of landmine style makeup. I think it might be a parody, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, she looked like... She's obviously parodying herself. Shouldn't like that.
After watching a bunch of her content, I'm starting to wonder if this is actually real or some kind of social experiment. I use Google Translate to read her bios and captions since it's all in Japanese. So
I think that it's usually like, so there's probably a bit of both, where it's like there's probably some degree of realism, but there's also some degree of goofism, where it's like you have like some of it is true, some of it's not true. It's a bit of both, right? Like, that's kind of what I'm expecting, right? That's more of what I'm expecting than anything else. Is like they're like kind of going in that middle ground. It's exaggeration, yeah. Playing into it similar to yourself? Yeah, I mean, to an extent, right? And shock and offer likes? Yeah, like most streamers. Like, I'll play things up a little bit. But there's also other things that are, like, for example, inside of, like, all my doors, there's, like, holes in my doors that, underneath my doors, where, like, rats will, like, dig in to get out from, like, underneath the doors. Like, for, like, my bedroom, because there'd be, like, rats trapped in my room. And then they'd, like, you know, they'd be stuck in there so they can, like, get in and out of my room, even with the door closed. So, like, there's some stuff that you don't fake, and there's other things that you do fake, right? Like, I like, you can't really fake. I mean, I guess you could fake that, but, like, it's something that you wouldn't even, and this is the thing, right? Is, like, you wouldn't even think of that. And I think that this is why, like, for me, if you have me evaluate this stuff, I can tell you how much of it is real and how much isn't. Can I chew through metal? Not really. No. I mean, like, like a raccoon can, but not a mouse. I mean, and it's like, it's always like a matter of time. Like, over time, they probably could, but not really.
Take this broken English with a grain of salt. Concurrent viewership is #1 in Japan. The most entertaining and genius streamer in Japan. Unauthorized reproduction prohibited. Legal action taken. There are even comments questioning if she actually lives in this house. First of all, how would you even sleep? Second, do bugs need sleep? It's hard to say for sure if this is a cosplay of someone with a really strange lifestyle. If it is, then interesting.
Well, it's easy to do that. So like a lot of people sleep like this if you're sleeping outside, is you can just put a bug net over yourself and then sleep so the bugs don't bother you if you're like a light sleeper, and then just put the blanket over yourself. That way you don't have a, what do you call it? You don't have them waking you up. And also, like, because this is another issue, that's OP, I didn't know that. Yeah, I used to sleep with my headphones on because, like, bugs can crawl in your ears and lay eggs in your ears. And so, like, that's another thing. That's why, like, it's one of the reasons why, like, any time that you'll ever see me, even in videos where, and you'll notice this if you look at, like, a lot of my old videos, I'm always wearing headphones. I don't know if you notice, I'm always wearing headphones all the time.
You definitely have people curious about the character you're playing, but if she's actually going through something, is the audience that she's building enabling her unhealthy behavior?
Of course they are.
Or is this just a simulation? Or will this be another moldy rice to riches story?
I've got to find this girl.
No one should be thinking this is a lifestyle to strive for. A little bed rotting here and there in moderation is okay, as long as you can pick yourself up afterwards. These extreme
this is like, I think these people are like the version, it's like, this is the same version of like Nikado Avocado, where it's like you can have like a fat girl that watches like an even fatter girl eat more food than she is, so she feels better about the amount of food that she's eating. I think this is really what's happening, right? Yeah, exactly.
Of gaining a following by living in a garbage house are rare instances of someone getting famous by showcasing their bizarre lifestyle, when in reality, there are a lot of people struggling like this without the money and fame. It's very fascinating, and I'm seated for some more plot development. Do these people end up cleaning their houses and getting their life together? Also wondering, is this the secret to turning your immune system into an impenetrable fortress? Because how are they still out here looking normal? I'm surprised they're not turning green like a Sims or that green.
Well, you can look at me, right? So as I said, you can see my skin, right? And like my hands, the skin, everything like that. Completely immaculate, literally nothing at all, no blemishes, nothing whatsoever. I'm 34 years old. Not yet, of course not yet. I mean, like, eventually everybody fucking dies and rots, right? I mean, what do you expect? I have no issue, right? And I also, I learned that you needed to change your bed sheets in 2018, and it was at the end of 2018, and then I did it twice. And that was about it. And like I think also, like, I think I had COVID maybe like a month ago. Like, I was thinking about it. I think I don't even really know. I'm not even because I was like coughing a little bit, but I'm not really sure. You killed COVID, yeah, maybe. Get it like once every 2 months. Well, I didn't even really notice it. And like whenever we go to conventions, like, you know how everybody gets like convention fatigue and they get sick from conventions, and like they get sick from all these big get-togethers? The con crud? Yeah. Isn't it crazy how like I'm always streaming the next day? Yeah. That's nuts. How about that?
from Wicked. They must have plus 100 and poison resistance or something. Spending 5 minutes in any of these houses would have me feeling nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. Hey,
You'd be surprised.
Pepto-Bismol. You know what else can
you'd be
prevent you from
surprised.
getting sick? The YouTube algorithm. Don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed the content to see more of my videos. You'll also get a +2 stat boost against germs, toxins, and the common cold. Disclaimer, percentages can vary based on individual experiences. Have a good day, try not to be dumb, and see you in the next one.
Yo,
yeah,
what's going?
I'm gonna be honest. Like, I don't think a lot of this is like really all that bad. Like, I mean, yeah, this girl is. I mean, she's definitely. I mean, she's pretty nutso, right? I mean, she's definitely a bit nutso, and like you just look at her and you can tell that. But at the same time, like, you might think that like there's a lot of ways that you can fix these problems that you might not really be able to predict or think about, like unless you really know about them. So like, for example, like the bug mat, right? You could just put one of those over yourself. Like, those are very easy to do. You don't have to worry about bugs, and you can use your blanket to kind of like keep it pressed down. It's not really a big issue. And then also, it's not going to interfere with oxygen because there's holes through it, but the holes aren't that small. It's not that big of a deal. And like, let me think before. So yeah, this is what's really confusing to me about this topic, though, is that whenever I've had a lot of bugs and animals that have been like living in like where I'm at, what I've had happen is that like they'll eat all of my clothes. Like, I don't know. Do I have any? I mean, I've probably thrown a lot of it away by now, right? But like a lot of my clothes, there'll be like holes and like just massive holes in them, because like the rats and like I didn't really bother like worrying about it, because like, well, why would I worry about like rats eating my clothes? Because it would it would make the clothes breathe better, right? Because like then they would have more airflow and it would look kind of cool, right? So I kind of would just let them eat the clothes anyway, so it was fine. And it, you know, there's a spectrum, right, where it's like they eat so much of it, and now it's like you can't wear the clothes anymore. But you're gonna change clothes anyway. But for most of the clothes that I wear, like for example, like this shirt here, I've had this shirt ever since I remember I wore this to school in 9th grade, and you know, like there you go, everything's totally fine. So. That's really the way that I've had it. Yeah, I've had it for 20 years now, right? And so there's that. The girl on TikTok. Yeah, I want to look at the girl. I want to see what the other videos are and see kind of what's going on with this. Let me go ahead. I'll put this and search it real quick, but I'll link you guys this video because, like, yeah, I mean, it's what's really weird and fucked up about this is that. I remember when I made my video, there's the video right there. I love this guy's videos, by the way. This is insane. I do not believe he's not sick. Mold poisoning can show up in different symptoms: asthma, chronic fatigue, anxiety, fatigue. So even if he isn't experiencing stomach issues such as nausea, doesn't mean he's slowly degrading his health. Mold exposure can be extremely damaging. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, so... Let's go ahead and I'll look at the rest of these, okay? Is a legend of his vid? No, because like if you, and this is what's kind of fucked up about it to me, is like if I look at my old videos and when this came out, like, let me see if I can find some old stuff, right? Current streaming setup, I think that's pretty clean overall. Like, that's not really so bad. There's this one here, right? So this is from, I guess, Mists of Pandaria.
About my room in a while, and I know it's a preview. And just kind of guess that's Dr. Pepper. This is a whole thing, dude. I got hella. It's looking pretty good. You know, I've got it pretty cleaned up. I've got this area is not so clean, but if you just look at it from this direction,
that's good. I still have, that's the Gatorade bottle I showed you guys a while ago. Yeah, like so I've got that Gatorade bottle still. And like I have a Wendy's cup from downstairs that's from Yellow Wendy's. I actually have a yellow Wendy's cup.
What's going on with these Wendy's things? Okay, so this is
yeah.
from
And this is from
1
2017.
month ago. So, let me see. Do I have a flashlight? I'm trying to think. Just
And this is, I remember this. Okay. This was at like 7 in the morning because I had stayed up all night playing video games.
Flashlight. Oh, here we go. Is this a good one? Does it work? Wow. Okay. Great. So here we go.
Yeah, that's the Wendy's chili.
So if you look at it in there, it's all white and stuff.
I don't remember why they were green. I don't know how they turned green.
Let me just get in here.
Yeah.
So that's been a few days. Actually, that's not a few days. That's like last week.
I love Wendy's chili.
I'm kind of hungry.
Yeah.
There's some other mold down in there, and this is last month's. I don't even want to open this one up, honestly.
See, this is back whenever I was still using normal spoons. This was such a mistake because then I had to clean the spoon.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
No bugs. I cut them in half.
See, it's already started to turn yellow and black and everything.
Yeah.
So I sit right here because like sometimes I smell it and I get hungry, and so that's actually why I went to Wendy's today. Because it was like real hot, so like the mold was like fermenting, and I was actually pretty good. I didn't really eat a lot of the chili though. I don't know why. But I got all the nuggets. I'll tell you that right now. I got my rubber band ball. How about that? That's real fucking cool.
Where
right?
did that go?
I got my water bottle with the Gatorade. This is basically a science experiment at this point. This Gatorade bottle has been there for years.
That's crazy because it's still there, and it's been there for years, and this was years ago. This is 2017, and it had been there for years. Wow, I wonder how old it really is.
Really, what's going on with that?
Yeah.
That's not nothing wrong with that. It's just pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what's going on with the room.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing really too crazy. Just a couple of like moldy things, but nothing really out of the ordinary. And so there you guys go. I know a lot of people have been wondering, and well, now you know.
So there's that one, and that was like an update video, and then there was this one. This is an old video. Oh yeah, this is me throwing drinks out the window. Because I threw out so many drinks in my backyard that the neighbors were complaining about raccoons. Yeah. It was so bad. Because they couldn't have birthday parties outside anymore because there were so many wasps. It's like when you say it, it's really something, right? But like, there it is. And so what I look at it, and it's like, this is from August 10th, 2010. And so I look at these girls that are doing it, and this girl is from 1999. There's a good chance she could have seen one of these videos growing up. Like, there's a non-zero probability. Oh my God.
And then I have some from over here. This is actually where I've been putting them recently. I don't even know why I put that. I've got some on top of my computer there.
Yeah.
And let's see what we actually have in here.
Oh, he doesn't know English? You don't need to know English.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Magic cards too. And these red cups. Let's see. It's like pink lemonade. That
Why do I have Pokemon cards?
Get a better look at that.
Yeah.
That's molded over Coke. That's more molded over Coke. This one's one of my favorites here. I don't even know how long this has been here.
Yeah.
That's...
And so, like, I look at some of these, and I think about this. And it's like, some of these people probably saw me doing this back then, and they could have started doing it. I could have been one of the first people. Look at this.
作ってみればいいですわ、クマよ。はあ。7番使います。待って待って、ジミキサーになってしまう。G ジュース作りたいわけじゃないんだ。ベビージーこと赤ちゃん G がいました。はあ。どうしよう、G 入ってた中で今結構でかいのいたんだよね。どうしよう、どうやって追い出せばいいと。まあいいや。そうだね。
See, that's the thing, right? Is so she does have the bugs eat her clothes and eat her stuff. She does. No, this proves it to me, because the bear is in the it's in the bag to avoid having the bugs eat the bear. So that implies that if the bear wasn't in the bag, it would be eaten. So yeah, no, it is. So that is actually what's happening. She's like suffocating it? Oh, I don't know about that. Yeah, it upsets them.
できたんじゃない？
I think it's only a room that she has, and then the rest of it is normal. I mean, I think that probably makes sense, though, right? Like, that's the way that I have it. Where it's like, I mean, other rooms that I have are, like, a lot more normal than, like, my kitchen, right? Like, I don't think it's, like, really a set. It's more like a radius, where it's like the bugs have an aggro range that is primarily focused around this room. So there's probably not as many bugs in the other room. That's not how it works. Roaches infest everything. No, that's not true. You'll have some of them that'll be like in like one. No, it's they'll have like locations where they're mostly at. Like I'm not saying that there won't be any roaches in the other places, but there'll be like 50 roaches in one place and like 2 in another place. So that's different. Yeah. And see, like, that's the crazy, because like, so she's got those bugs on the wall, and then that's crazy. Wow. Yeah, the highway? No, there's a lot of them. They got really active in the morning. They would get super active in the morning. Oh my god, Roach Highway? No, it's okay. What I did with it is I took a vacuum cleaner and I vacuum cleanered all of the roaches up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. You smoke them out? No, I didn't. And then I took prefab cement and I put the prefab cement around the beam where the roaches were getting in. And then the roach problem went away. I saw like 3 other roaches, and then that was it. Yeah, I never had to deal with any more of them. Aren't those ants? Yeah, those are ants. Let's see. Oh, she's...
こちら100円ショップで購入したカレー缶4種類でございます。
Eat this nasty fucking shit. It's fucking disgusting. Just go to Walmart.
はい、いただき。
I would not eat this. Like, I would never eat this. Fucking disgusting. Like, I don't know if it's healthy or not. It's just fucking disgusting.
Let's go, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like... So this is, like, if you guys want my honest, like, real, like, opinion about this, let me watch, like, 2 more, and then I'll give my real opinion.
ファミマコンビニお豆腐そうめん食べ比べしてみた。あ、してみる。ただいまこちらに
This doesn't look dirty at
お豆
all.
腐そうめん全種
This
類
is
揃えてます。
completely clean. Look at
どれも美味し
this.
そうですよね。
There's no
普通
bugs
のめんつゆ豆腐そうめん
anywhere.
になごまだれになトムヤムハム風に
Yeah.
めんつゆ。あ、これで
There's
これ
no
青いな
bugs.
めんつゆだけどこっちがゼロか。
It's a
これゼロ
hotel?
らしいがこういうのこういうことね。
Yeah, maybe you're right.
ではこれからもう開けちゃった。水切りしました。ゴミ箱。おい。
Is it soy sauce?
いただき真夏。やっぱり安定にもちろん美味しい共和国でした。
I'm glad you got
こ
your
れ
bear with you. So did she move away?
これはね水切り不要らしい。ほら。あら美味しそう。最後これ。
Oh, this is the... Yeah, this is definitely a new place because the bear doesn't have... It's not in the bag anymore.
シンプルにシンプルで美味しい。最後これ4個目。
And you can also tell, one point you can tell if somebody is like really dirty is like right here on their hands. And so, yeah, she takes, like, she's not like super dirty. You can tell, yeah, it's their nails. Because, like, there's dirt in their nails. Their teeth are clean? No, it's okay. Like, I used to, the reason why, like, and people always comment on this. I don't do it as much now. But, like, I have a habit of letting my nails grow longer. Because when I would have holes in my teeth, I would need to use longer nails to pick the food out of the holes in my teeth. But that's not really as much of an issue anymore.
最後これ4個目。普通のごまだれ豆腐そうめん。これは水切りするね。ナイス水切り。
Yeah, so I had like, yeah, I had longer nails for that reason. A toothpick? No, it's just, now it's an extra problem. Yeah, so did she change like her... Yeah. Good for her. Yeah, right. I mean, and so... But then now she's back... Now she's back in this. Oh, she does the same thing that I do. I do this too. After I open a box from Amazon, I'll stab the knife that I opened the box with back into the box. Yeah. Like, just to practice. Because I used to not really be very good at knife throwing. And I will step back and, like, try to just, like, throw it, you know, from, like, 2 or 3. Yeah. What, do you need to be good at it? It is what it is. That's a cantaloupe. Yeah. Yeah, that's why she has it in the bag. Is to avoid having the bugs eat it because of the skin particles. And so, okay, this is my verdict. I think that this is mostly real, but it's partially an act, obviously. I think that she's playing it up about 20% of the way through. I do think that a lot of it is probably real. And I would even say that the majority of it is probably real. But I don't think that she sleeps in... I don't know. But, like, I do know that if you... It depends on how often she showers, right? Because if she showers all the time, the bugs probably won't be as bad. But if she doesn't shower a lot, well, but then she's talking about using dry shampoo all the time because she didn't need to shower. I don't know. She's only getting attention because she's attractive? No, yeah, and that's very important, right? Is like this strategy only really works for like girls that are attractive. It definitely does, because there's like a lot of guys that like watch and they're like, oh, I can fix her. Like I can, you know, like that's definitely, she's not attractive. Yeah, I don't know. Like I would say that she's above average for being attractive, right? As somebody who is a professional at looking at girls, I would say that, yeah, this is definitely above average. Like, you think that she's not above average? Go to Walmart. Go to Walmart right now. Like, she's not sitting in a motorized scooter, you know, with a you know, like one of those like little grabbers so she can get you know, the fucking the big bag of Hershey's Kisses off of the top aisle. You know, she's not 450 pounds. Exactly. So this is, yeah, above average in Texas. Exactly. Yeah. And so I think that like she's playing it up a little bit, but there's certain elements of this that I do think are definitely real. And what I would assume is that there's probably potentially multiple rooms in the house, and one of the rooms is like more or like less dirty than the other ones. Because like she's been doing this for really kind of a long time. And you can see, yeah. And she didn't have any bugs right here. And this was only 5 years ago. Yeah. She even does the Pokemon dance. Well, good for her. Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's any other videos of her at her house. Yeah, there you go. I see what's happened. So she left a lot of the food out and it got worse over time, and then she had to put the bear in the bag because of that. See, the teeth, yeah, she brushes her teeth a lot. That's pretty good. She's not drinking soda the way that I am. Yeah. That's the thing. Why are you spending so much time on this? Because I don't really like it. I find it to be interesting because I see a lot of other people like it's the same. Because like I did the same thing a lot, and like, to be honest with you guys, I said this before when I looked at this video. The only reason I actually recorded this video was to show off that I had this mount. That was the only reason I actually recorded this video. Because I had just got this mount. The sidetrack? Yeah, I just got, yeah, totally sidetracked on it. But yeah, this was the original battle station. And I'm still streaming from this exact place, by the way. Yeah, like this is the exact same room, exact same place. Everything's all the same. So yeah. Comparing degenerate lifestyles? Yeah, no, I mean, definitely. Can you just buy this mount now? You actually could. It's an easy carry. And yeah, it's that simple. Exact same smell. Do you ever plan on moving into another house? She has such a mess, yet her nails, her teeth are way well taken care of. Well, no, your dental health doesn't really have to do with like your environment as much. Like for me, so the reason why I have like really bad dental health is because number one, I drink a lot of soda. I don't see her drinking any soda. And then number two, I eat a lot of sugar. Number three, I didn't brush any of my teeth at all in high school and until I was like 19 or 20. Like, I just didn't really do it. Why did I just never really gave a fuck. I didn't care. And so, yeah, and then they started getting worse, and it was like, oh, God, that's really bad. And so, yeah. Been 2 hours of content. Yeah, no, it's quite a lot. The condition of your health and the main health is the main reason for the health issues you're facing. Yeah, I did tell myself, I told you guys I'm going to clean up like a lot of the house, and I have cleaned up a lot of my house already. Yeah, why didn't your parents make you wash? They did. They really did their best, but unfortunately, I am an animal, And like, so the reason why I started like not giving a fuck is that, oh god, fucking my dad's calling me. Hello? Yeah, but I was in the middle of something.
Oh, okay.
What? You're on speaker. You're on speaker.
Yeah, okay. First of all, just to let you guys know, he actually does not smell. He does kind of smell like an old man, but that's because of all the old dead skin. But, you know, and he always was like that. I walk around, I got fucking dirty hands. I don't do a fucking thing. He's out doing stuff. He's, you know, on all of them. His hands are always perfectly clean.
That's right.
Mine, you know, he's like his Uncle Sean.
Yep.
Always said he has Jesus hands.
Oh,
you know,
God.
like you see in the pictures.
Oh, God. Yeah, yeah. Well, except for the one finger, but yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, yeah, he always took baths over here when he came here. Okay. But a lot of what he does is nothing different than what his mom did.
You're not calling up just to go on.
No, I'm not just ragging on her. I'm saying that you didn't just get this out of nowhere. And think about it. I mean, shit. I mean, go in and take a photo of her room, you know.
Yeah.
And but you were posting those photos. I'm talking about what you posted
on MySpace. Yeah.
Of the like I said the classic pot of mold. I had no idea what was underneath.
Can you explain what that was?
It was a pot. It was in the kitchen, and it was just solid mold that had to be at least a couple of inches deep. And I don't know what was underneath it because I wasn't
grits.
looking, you know.
It was bacon and grits. She made bacon. She made grits, and then the mold would build up, and then she'd put tea bags on the mold, and then the mold would like have like a mound on top of the pot, and then she'd put cigarette butts into the different.
Well, I know, and the cigarette butts. There were so many fucking cigarette butts that they stuck out like a porcupine. I mean, there was you couldn't put another cigarette butt out in there. And I mean, it was, and I would come over, you know, I worked, fucking, 50 hours a week. Then I'm driving back and forth in the rush hour, and I'm coming down to his house, and I'm going out at night, and I'm zooming around. I'm still coming over and washing their fucking dishes. Until one day I said, what the fuck am I doing? And I come up there and I see all that crap on his desk because I grew up in a shithole. And I told the story on Steak and Eggs about his mom coming in one night, and she turned on the light, and then she said, "Hey, Bob, wake up." And I said, "What?" And she says, "Brush off your lip, because all along my upper lip, on the edges of my mustache, there was a whole line of roaches feasting out."
Yeah.
You know? And so, you know, I was not, and I lived literally in a garage.
Yeah.
The door on, and the door swings up, and you know, and so I could ride my motorcycle in and out and change them all and all there. And so right next to my bed.
Yeah.
My bed table. And so, I mean, I grew up a lot like this, you know, and so when I got older, I mean, I decided to have a nicer place. He did the same thing to my fucking car. Trashed my car.
Trashed your car?
Yeah, well, my Mustang.
Yeah, no, I did.
Yeah, when you traded it in, it was still my car because you wouldn't take responsibility for it.
I wouldn't. I don't want to deal with the paperwork. Yeah, no. But like you got to admit, after we had that guy clean it, was it ever dirty after that?
Yeah, that was pretty clean, and I was the one who hired the guy to clean it.
You did, and that's because I threw up in the car, and it got cooked onto the car.
Yeah, I know. I've heard
yeah.
the story a number of times. Yeah, that was not an irregular thing with me when I was heavy drinking.
Yeah, it is what it is.
But yeah, you ought to see the living room. It's stacked up with shit. It's his shit on top of her shit. She's got Amazon boxes down there of crap she ordered and never even fucking opened. It's never been opened. She's been dead almost 3 years. And, her room is like a shrine. He hadn't touched a fucking thing in there. I mean, I took out candy bars and some other shit I wanted, but that was all I took out. So, I mean, it was, and she would throw out more food, both of the two of them would throw out more food than I would eat in a week. And that's when I was eating a lot. And so, I mean, this stuff is like partially true and not partially true, and it's the way he grew up. And that's why guys like to come over, and guys like to come over to my house so they could just drop cigarettes on the floor. We had concrete floors, and they could just put them out, and we don't give a fuck. When I was growing up, that's the way he was.
Yeah.
But, sometime along the line, I decided, to clean up my act, and it was, things were like, yeah, there you go, there's the kitchen. And that's looking pretty good. And anytime I go over to his house, he's got boxes with like 4 cookies in each one. And that's because the chocolate chip cookies got stiff. And so they're not really stale, but it's stiff. And so he just buys another box.
I didn't want to eat them. Yeah.
And those rats, that's barely a rat. That's a ratling.
Yeah.
I mean, his mom and I had them in the wall, and they were driving us fucking nuts. So I just took my .22 and I shot them right through the fucking wall.
Yeah.
And the only thing I didn't think of is that the smell of them would come out through the electrical receptacles, where you
Yeah.
put stuff.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I mean, I was.
It's bad.
Right in our face. So I had to tape over. I just taped over. I said, "Fuck it," and I just taped over it with duct tape until finally the smell went away.
Yeah.
But I used to shoot rats out of my attic, and sometimes they fall right on my fucking bed.
Yeah.
I was lying up back of my bed and had an attic access up there when I was a kid. And and the rats would run back and forth, and it was like a little shooting gallery. But that was nothing to me. I mean,
that's just the way it is. Yeah.
2 or 3 days a week. So with the mosquito netting he's talking about.
Yeah, but like that's what I think it probably was, right? Because like if you sleep with that shit on top of you, is fine.
Oh yeah. I mean.
Yeah. Because you were the one that told me that's how I know about it.
You mean from my jungle hammock?
Yeah.
Yeah. And man, you did not sleep on the ground out there.
Yeah.
You don't. You get carried away in the middle of the night by big gators. But yeah, I mean, I do the hardcore, cleaning the rabbits in the backyard and throwing the guts to 10, 20 feral cats we had out there. And that's the way I grew up. And so, I tried to make it better for him, but no. And the same with the eating, did my best. And the deal was just take 3 bites. What? And, I could usually talk him into eating more, and he ate a lot more shit at my house.
You got me the multivitamin yesterday, and I have it right here.
Yep, I'm still trying.
Yeah.
I'm still trying.
Yeah, you got it yesterday. I asked my dad to get one for me. He did. All right. All right. Okay. I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Okay.
And guys, Emery was partly right. He smells old. That's just because of the dead skin. And he's right about the dead skin and salt. That's why the rats eat his clothes. Almost all animals are after salt. It's hard for them to find. So I found that out myself. Lost some good clothes that way. Sorry to say, they'd eat out the crotch on mine.
Yeah.
I grew up in Florida, buddy.
All right. Okay. All right. Yo, I'll talk to you later.
Give everybody a rest on this topic.
Yeah. All right. Yo, bye.
Yo, bye-bye.
Oh man. I didn't even. Oh man. That's crazy. Yeah.